Maybe one day I'll surprise you.
All right. We're unmuted and we're going live. 5, 4, 3, 2. Chug, 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 chug,
One
chug,
more
chug.
sip of my Starbucks.
Today we have our Fancy Friday Starbucks.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. We should to each other, you go left.
I know, I should run over to you and have a real cheers.
I also have my Dunkin' Donuts water. I just reuse their cups. I don't mess with their coffee anymore. It's too perfumey, chemically.
We're Starbucks lovers here.
Yeah. Sadly,
And our own coffee.
yeah, our own coffee's better, I think. Anyways, thanks for joining us today. Today's show is all about
Spam.
both the food, not so much the food, but also more importantly, spam, the email situation that we all love and know. So let's play the intro and we'll be back in about 15 seconds. See, it doesn't say sunrise. Wait, what's this? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's very
Right.
tropical.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
fancy.
Thank you. Yeah. Today's not only wait, why did oh yes. I mean, today's a few different things. It's actually National Hawaii Day, which is I don't know if it's related to the spam day or they're separate, but in Hawaii, as we probably all know, they love spam. It's like a big staple of their food culture. So props to Hawaii. I've never been there. We've never been there.
Yeah,
We look forward to someday going to Hawaii,
definitely would love to visit Hawaii.
doing the thing that they do.
Hmm.
I think that's all they do there. They all do this. That's how they walk too.
I want to custom lay, what is it? The hairpiece.
Yeah.
I've seen people visit and they have like these beautiful lays on their head and
Yeah.
like a crown.
I think they lay you as soon as you get off the plane. Like that's their thing.
Yeah.
Everybody jokes about it. I got, there's our live stream topic. Spam. What is spam?
Well,
Spam.
let's talk about the history of spam, right? You learned all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, we can talk about that. All right.
So it is spam day. I don't know if does anyone like spam? I wasn't a huge thing. I'm not really a huge lover of spam, but I have tasted it where it tastes delicious if cooked a certain way.
Yeah, most people don't like it. I have a little notepad set up for today's show. Yeah, so I mean, spam itself, the food. Let's just go right to the food part because this is not all about the food. I like spam, like we said on yesterday's stream. When we're healthy people, so it's not like we eat it all the time. I haven't had it in about a year and a half, I think. The last time I did have it, I made spam fried rice, which is really good. But spam itself was introduced in 1937, and it was actually used. I don't have this here, but it was used for like army. They would take it out because it's processed and it what's that called?
It was like easy to package and travel with, and
Yeah, it's really just ham with a lot of salt, and obviously there's other stuff there too: water, potato starch, sugar, and sodium nitrate. So it's easy to just package into a can of spam, open it up and eat it. Um, Spam musubi, which is a Hawaiian thing. Spam fried rice, which is also Islander meal, and spam and eggs, breakfast. No better way to start off your day with a salty piece of spicy ham. And they said that spam, the company, supposedly, there's mixed things out there. I did a little research, not just today, but another time when I was looking up spam, we were talking about it. And they named it spam because it really stands for spicy ham. So SP is the spice, E, and AM is the ham.
oh,
Yeah.
never knew that.
Yeah, so that's the end.
There's your facts about spam. If you were ever wondering, now you know.
Yeah,
Piece of information you can carry on
with you forever. But forget the food, right? Actually, we do have a can of spam. It's the low sodium, which I don't really. It's probably still packed with sodium. The thing we're actually talking about today is spam, the email situation.
Spam on your website.
Spam on
There's
your
spam
website.
everywhere on your website, in your email inbox, but today
Yeah,
we're
look
going
at
to be
that.
talking about your website.
Yep, 45% of all emails sent are spam, as we all know. We're going to talk about ways to prevent it, even in your email client, like I do. I get lots of spam ever since we started Three Tone all day. I don't know if it's considered spam, but it'll be like, "Hello, I'm from here. I can improve your thing to make you rank up." You know, that to me is spam. Um, you need things on your website. I like the spam that I get constantly. Like, we're web developers. We can help your website. It's like, we're web developers. You know, what are you gonna help
Yeah,
our
it's
website?
any type of email that you get that you didn't opt in for,
Yep,
unsolicited emails,
yep.
that's spam.
This guy's to blame. Gary Spoke.
Gary,
1978. I
how
looked this
dare
up.
you, Gary? He,
Unbelievable.
it
I don't know
seems like
what.
a Gary would do this.
It does seem like a real, true Gary thing. Actually, that's a good point. I don't know what the unsolicited advertisement for, but I'm sure it was Gary's business, side business. He sent it to ARPANET users, which was kind of a first internet or intranet. So he just sent everything out to them saying something about his business, I guess. And they were like, "What is this, spam?" But the term itself comes from the great Monty Python. And I hope we can hear it here. I'm going to play it, and I think the audio will come through.
Yeah, and if anybody can't hear it, just shoot us a comment so we know.
Yeah, or just thumb down to the screen. We see, we see everybody, right? Everybody that tunes in, we could see them in a square. No, that'd be wild though. Oh, see, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna put the volume up. It literally just goes on for 3 minutes. A lot of this spam. My volume's still up. I like Monty Python. You're not a big fan of Monty Python, huh? No.
No. I mean, I haven't really watched it to be honest, to be
Yeah,
into it,
I'm
but
not the biggest fan. It's very culty, you know. Monty Python, Life of Brian, all these kind of like weird comedies that came out. He's in it. What's that thing? That's him in a nutshell. How did I get in this nutshell? Or how about their most famous thing was where the guy gets his legs cut off and stuff, and they're like, "How can you fight? You don't have any legs." And he's like, "'Tis just a flesh wound."
yeah, I think I did see that one
I
with
think I
you.
showed it
Yeah.
to you. She doesn't like it, so it is what it is. So that's where spam, like, they actually not used it, but this sketch kind of named exactly what spam is now. That sentence didn't make any sense, but you get it. This sketch, you know. Let's close that. I was also looking at
I thought
something.
there was more to the sketch. I was like, he's
No,
literally just saying spam,
it's
spam, spam,
3
spam.
minutes of that
What's
too. I fast forwarded through it, and it gets louder. There's more people, and then everybody starts chanting spam, 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 spam.
so why like why is he saying that? I'm just trying to understand the
Well, it's
sketch.
about the food, but they said in this article that I read that this overwhelming, like, everybody chanting spam with nobody else being able to talk was kind of the concept of spam, email spam too. Just get sent out with no big, what's that word? I don't know.
There's no permission.
Yeah,
They're
without, like, you're
just
just like blasting it out there, spam, spam, and nobody else can talk. So I think that's what I've read that it comes from. And I have 3 pictures here that have nothing to do with really what we're talking about, but I found them interesting. The old Outlook, ugh, the fact that internet may just be a passing phase as millions give up on it. This article is from the year 2000. In the year 2000. Remember Conan O'Brien?
are you showing your screen? I don't see
Oh,
anything.
you don't see my screen?
No.
Oh man. Let me get back to that. I lost that picture. Well, it was an old Outlook. There's an article from 2000 saying that internet may just be a passing fad. Looks like they were wrong. It says 2
That's
million
crazy.
Brits have logged off the internet. Like, this is not going anywhere, guys. And a floppy disk.
Oh, I remember floppy disks.
Look at that. 1.4 megabytes is on it. That is like
All my
less.
Word documents, my
Yep.
Word perfect documents on there.
Oh no, we're
Word perfect.
showing your age.
Yep.
Word perfect. Yeah,
I'm
1.4
showing my wisdom.
That's true. Me too. My first computer was a Commodore 64. Don't judge. 1.4 megabytes though is less than. Look how clean this guy's fingers are. There's like no.
There's
Yeah,
no lines.
yeah.
Like it doesn't even look like a normal finger.
It might not be real. Well, 1.4 megabytes isn't even enough to hold an image, really, like a larger image. This image is probably bigger than 1.4 megabytes. Let me see. How ironic. Yep, 2.2. So that wouldn't even fit on this disk. Crazy, huh? So, spam, what is it? No, we already went over that. Spam, how to prevent it, right? So we deal with websites a lot. That's our main thing. And a lot of the times, whether it's our own website clients or clients that come to us, they have a spam issue. So emails coming through the site that are unsolicited through a contact form. Sometimes they're coming directly through the email provider, which is a different thing. We're not really talking about that. And in which case, if you do have that kind of issue, then we always say, you should contact your email provider or definitely check with Microsoft 365 or whatever you're using as a client because you can filter things on there. And there's a lot of other things like DMARC and settings that you can add that prevent spoofing. Spoofing with spam is really the big issue, I think. That's where email comes to you. You think it's somebody else, your boss. He's like, buy some gift cards, which is weird. And why would you ever do that? But people do it. And you see, oh, it came from him. It's his email address. And you go buy the gift cards. You send them off like a, can I say the word idiot? Like an idiot. And that's like really bad spam, right? That's where it's spoofing. The other spam, not so much. Like we talked about, we get these just random things like we can improve your website. We can. I keep getting one for sweaters. I don't know why. They're like, do you want to resell our sweaters? No, I'm not reselling your sweaters. So some of the ways that we can prevent spam. Let me open up our website on a different browser so we can show a little bit about reCAPTCHA. So reCAPTCHA, do you want to talk about that for a second, Rena?
Yeah, so on any website, there's usually a contact form. I think every website we've had has a way for them to contact, and that's where the spam issues may come in. So there are solutions that you can do, and usually our go-to is being able to use reCAPTCHA, Google's reCAPTCHA. And there's three types of reCAPTCHA. Well, I would say three versions. So there's version 2, which is like the checkbox reCAPTCHA. And it just prompts, we've all seen it, prompts users to check a box to prove that they're human. Then we have the version 2 invisible reCAPTCHA. And that one is using a little bit more of an advanced technology to detect real users without requiring them to enter that field. So that's V2. And then there's V3 reCAPTCHA, which is the most advanced for Google's reCAPTCHA. It uses behind the scenes scoring system to detect any abusive traffic. It has a score that it relates to that. And it also even gives you some like graphs on about the abusive traffic and by day and things like that. So there's this whole behind the scenes data that you can pull for V3 reCAPTCHA. So in order to be able to set this up, you'd have to go through Google reCAPTCHA, and it requires to select the type. Each type has its own process, but for the most part, they all have the same, where you would need to copy the site key. You would need the secret key And you can also include and be able to customize, like if there's a failed message, and then it will give you like a score threshold, which the threshold really is, it returns a score. And I'm just going to read it here. If the score less than or equal to this threshold, so if the threshold is 0.4, the form submission will be blocked and the message above will be displayed. So if it is able to detect within the threshold that this does not meet our criteria for a real form, then it's not even going to send the message or get through your website. So this is the one that we usually recommend installing, and I've done for most of our clients. But there are other ones that you can also do if depending on your situation. So that's kind of like the rundown for the reCAPTCHA.
Yeah, that was a good rundown. That's reCAPTCHA is the most popular. There's other ones out there. HCAPTCHA. You can also do things like honeypot, which is a hidden form in a form or hidden field. And if that field is entered, if there's data in it, you can consider that spam, right? Because it's hidden. How would a person, unless they're in the inspector and unhiding things and entering data, how would they ever know? So that's like a really basic way to prevent spam of hidden field. If it's filled in, consider it spam. But the more better, I think, ways, because you can get around that. And spam is smarter, and it can say this field's hidden. Why would I ever fill it in? So they're smarter than that now. That used to be the other way to do it. But let me share my screen here. It's us. So this is Google reCAPTCHA. When you actually register a new site, you go to google.com/reCAPTCHA. It'll go through a couple steps. You do have to be logged in, where you would enter the URL for the website.
Well, this here would be just the label, so you can say anything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You can just say 3-tone.
That's true. Good point, Raina.
And
yeah,
then
here's where you add the domain. Digital.com. Busy bee marketing. So once you do that, it's going to give you a site key and a secret key. And depending on what you're using on your website, there's different ones. There's Contact Form 7. We use Formidable. There's WP Forms. What else is out there? What was the one you were dealing with this morning?
That's WP Forms.
Yeah, we actually had a spam thing this morning, which was ironic. We didn't do the show because of the spam thing, but we had an email right in the midst of creating the show. So on Formidable, and they're all kind of the same. This one has a lot more settings. You can see the other ones on here, Turnstile and HCAPTCHA, which we don't mess with right now, but Google is going downhill, so we might. The site key that is given to you from the reCAPTCHA admin will be entered here, site key, secret key. Then you can choose the type. Those are the ones that Raina was talking about. This is on 3tonedigital.com. We deal with V3. We set the language to English, obviously. And then there's a threshold, which you can modify based on if you're maybe not getting emails that you're supposed to be getting, or the other way around. So 0 to 1 will help that. We have no issues on our website with spam, just with these settings. So right at the middle at 0.5. Sometimes on forms, so like these are our forms, you do have to manually drop it into the form depending on what plugin you're using. Like for this one, this is our contact form. We have our CAPTCHA at the bottom. If this isn't here, there it is. There's no CAPTCHA. So pretty much anything can get through and it'll get to us, which is not what we want, because the more you get up in search rankings, the more spam you're going to get. If they can see it, spam bots and such will enter that spam. So we always stick with, we think the best thing to do is have reCAPTCHA on the site. Let me just add that back. There we go.
Yeah, and there's no like 100%, oh, you're not going to get any spam. There's always going to be some, but it has to be at a certain amount coming in that makes sense, in the sense of you're not being overwhelmed, but you're always going to see a couple trickle in. There's no 100% proof of no spam ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to prevent, because we talked about this before, where there's technology that the bad guys use, and that always competes with the technology that the good guys use, you know? So it's always this battle. Like, these are the new techniques to get through the website, and these are the new techniques to prevent people from getting through to the website, you
Mhm.
know? So it's a never-ending battle, but I think staying on top of it with Google reCAPTCHA for now is probably the best answer. The other ones are good too, but some people have taken that move from Google. I've been seeing it more and more on X that they don't do their analytics with Google anymore because GA4 became this monstrosity, completely different than Universal Analytics. They've been switching from Google Ads because we've seen like you get rejected for the content sometimes if they don't approve of it or if it's not relevant enough. There's just a lot of problems with Google as of late. It does the job and it's a great thing. We do use it for clients, but there are other options out there that can be used if you're not into this type of monopoly system, you know. But let me get back to that document. Let's just watch Monty Python the rest of the show, right?
I thought it was on a loop. It just kept saying the same thing over and over again. I'm like, what? I
It's
don't
fun
get
over
it.
there. I think that's
Sam, Sam, Sam.
yeah, that's the whole point. You want to watch the rest of it. And there's also, so at the bottom of the screen, you see this little definition. Spam is junk messages sent in bulk. You can be the sender of spam if you do it. I sent spam once by mistake, kind of by mistake, when I got this large email with all these names in the two, and then I advertised 3-Tone Digital. But then I got blocked on Gmail. That was in the beginning, pre-Raina joining. She wouldn't have approved of that. And then my email was like, was
Oh.
blocked. It was my Gmail, the dark CSS one. So I am a spammer. So there's also the verb to spam, right? You don't want to spam people. You can also spam people not in this sense of like many thousands. You can also do it within your own company or something where instead of you CCing or blind CCing somebody, you put everybody in there by mistake, or spamming on Slack has been a thing where you kind of at here and it pings everybody, right? That's kind of spam too. Where it's like it even asks you, "Are you sure you want to do this? It's 3 a.m. in Germany." Like, yes. So
So don't be a spammer.
don't be a spammer. Eat spam instead. Want to talk about the food again?
No.
I'm kind of craving it now.
I don't know. I feel like I would wanna taste like an original dish from Hawaii, something like that for it to be really changed. Because I do find it too salty and sodium, and I'm not a big pork eater. I don't really eat ham. So, that's my opinion.
Yeah, she doesn't eat pork. I
Um,
stopped kind of eating pork. I mean, I still do secretly.
secretly, like, when I see a good piece of bacon, like, because Tony eats bacon, like we're at a restaurant and it's just like cooked perfectly and crunchy. I mean, it is super flavorful. And then as a kid, I ate real bacon. So I might take a little piece of it just to get a taste of it. But I don't cook it, I don't make it at home. But it is delicious. If it's cooked right, it has a lot of flavor. So, but it's not something that I include in my diet. I might sneak it here and there.
Yeah, it's not healthy. A lot of
Yeah.
cultures don't even eat
I'll eat
pigs,
the burntest part of the bacon. Yeah.
and I like it. I know this is not about bacon, but we could talk about bacon. I like it almost raw, and I suffer for it because I got food poisoning at Friendly's.
Yeah,
You
and I
ever had
warned him.
Friendly's?
Let's tell that story. So years ago, when we frequented I mean, we didn't really frequent, but we went every now and again to fast food. We went to Friendly's, and Tony got a BLT, and I looked at that bacon that looked like it came straight out of the package, uncooked,
I
and I
think it
said,
was cut off a
"That
pig.
is not cooked at all."
Yeah,
Okay. You know, so he proceeded to still eat the bacon, and he paid for it.
yeah. I don't get food poisoning very often. I eat a lot of weird stuff, but this one did it. I was
Yeah.
vomiting.
So everyone should listen to their wives
Listen to
when
your
they warn
wives
them,
when they say that the bacon
don't
is
eat the
raw.
bacon. It's not looking good.
I like it really like rubbery. Burnt is fine too. I'm not like most people that's like it has to be this way. I like burnt bacon all the way down to the raw, not raw obviously, but the slimy type of bacon. I feel like
I don't
that's where
do the
it's the
slime.
best. Slime. Yeah, slime. You know what's funny about slime? To not to we're doing like chain of relations here. Young Thug trial. They saying the gang. There's a gang called YSL, which is Young Slime Life, and then Young Thug is saying it's not a gang. It's actually a music production company or something. That trial's so interesting. You know that actually today I think that the judge might be recused. I think right because the other judge is coming in. There's another
Yeah,
judge.
I'm curious to get in there and look at it and see what's happening because the judge might get recused or something because of the what's the term?
Ex parte.
Yeah, we learned what ex parte means.
Yeah, we learned it. I mean, and in actual conjunction with that, we've been doing lawyer sites too. It's part. I think that's a little bit of our niche lately has been lawyer sites. And so we've been learning the terms while we're doing the sites, and also via YouTube live streams on Young Thug trials and
Yeah,
other trials.
it's very interesting. I
Yeah,
mean, it's important to know your rights, and I think watching these trials and things like that, you learn terminology that you're like didn't really know what that meant, or understanding the law more.
yeah. What about that Karen Reed trial? She's
Oh
off.
yeah, that
That was
one's
crazy. You know.
mistrial.
It's weird because it just kinda ended. It's been there. It's been like it's like we've grown like part of the family almost. We've seen her face everywhere. And then all of a sudden it's done. They're like, "Yep, mistrial. She's out."
Well, she'll be back.
From what? Like a star? Like a viral?
No, I mean like there's going to be another trial.
There
You
is?
know, yeah, they're gonna follow up. Just because you do a mistrial doesn't mean it's gone.
Yeah,
You
I know
know,
that.
the state is gonna appeal it, and they're gonna go through that process. So it's gonna be like, and then see what happens. There's gonna be a new set of jurors because they said we're just divided and we can't make a decision, which is pretty crazy.
See, Verena knows more about this than me. I just thought she was home free. She's gonna start
For now,
a reality
until
show.
the next court date. Yeah.
She should do like reading with Karen Reed, where she reads kids' books or something. Where she's like, "Once upon a time." Oh, don't come after us, Karen Reed. I hope everybody had a lovely Fourth. We had a really,
Yeah.
really good stereotypical American day. We were wearing our American flag shirts and colors. We went to a local parade. We
Mhm.
saw fireworks. We
We
grilled
grilled.
up
Yeah, we went to the pool.
at the pool, which is really nice over
We
here.
did our sparklers.
One large sparkler. We took these large, really big ones to the fireworks. And as I was lighting it, Raina was like, "Are you sure it's a sparkler?" And I was looking at the name of it. I'm like, "I don't know, actually." It's in a crowd of people. So when I lit it, I was very excited to see that it was just a sparkler because it was called like a. It wasn't Roman candle. It was something along those lines. And as it started sparking, I was like, I'm like, oh no, it's gonna shoot into this crowd. So it
Yeah,
did.
there's so many accidents that happen every year. Somebody blows up their arm, even worse sometimes. So I get so nervous when the fireworks.
Yeah,
Try not to go
we
too
don't do
close.
the crazy ones. We have a couple like smoke bombs, which is even too much for me. One time I did Roman candles with an old friend at a cemetery who were shooting Roman candles, and that was freaky. And I was like, I can't imagine these big, massive ones that people just do locally. There was a couple injuries over here, Schenectady, which is the local town. Somebody got their hand blown off. It was on the news, and there was what was that, like a stadium where the fireworks went into the crowd. There's a video of it. You can look it up. Should I show it?
Mm,
There was a big shark attack yesterday. That was a pretty wild video too. There was 4 shark attacks in Texas, probably because of the hurricane. And there was also another one where all the fireworks blew up at once within 20 seconds, but it was supposed to be a 20-minute show. It's pretty spectacular, but obviously unplanned. Sometimes things happen like that. You
It
just
happens every year. It's like expecting it. Like, okay, what's going to be the craziest fireworks story this year?
Yeah. I wonder what is going but, I mean, I didn't really look online too much this morning, but I'm sure there's other ones. Somebody got their face blown off. I
Yikes.
like our yellow. I put our yellow, colors. I like this one.
I like that one
This one?
better. Yeah.
I like it too. So,
All right.
spam talk. I do wanna eat some spam. If you have issues with spam, we're always here to help. We always help spam, honestly. Like, if that is the point of this, we get a lot of contacts about people getting spam, and we fix the issues. So, if you have a spam issue, don't just put up with it. Oh, one thing I did wanna say was if you do have a spam issue that's not related to a website, you can easily, depending on what email client you use, filter emails. So you could say anything from so and so, or with this subject, or with this content. And there's even things to say like we did on the recaptcha, saying the threshold on Gmail. You can also set a threshold and say, actually, I'm getting a lot of spam. So besides the website issue, which is easily fixable with recaptcha or honeypots or any of those, when it's coming through your email client, there's plenty of other options. What I like to do, which doesn't really do the job because I still get them, I just we use Apple Mail. Right click, block contact, and it's trimmed it down, but I still get them all day. It's just like a never-ending battle, really.
Yeah.
Sending out spam, and there's also like the spam. Remember the Can Spam Act that the government is that what it the government, Big Brother did? Where, it's pretty much saying that the person has to, allow the contact, but has it worked?
No.
Probably not. And there's also, like, GDPR, where you have to double accept. What's that called? Double opt-in.
Authenticate.
Yeah, no, opt-in, when you opt into
Oh
the
yeah, double opt-in.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are options. When you send out a newsletter or something, you could say, "I wanna make sure that this person understands that they're receiving this content for a reason." So it sends out things saying, "Hey, you sure you wanna get the three-tone digital newsletter about technology, web design, web development?" And the person says, "Yes." And then you know that there's complete consent on both sides, of the shelf, of the
Mhm.
aisle of the aisle.
Mhm. So just to recap, if you have a
Yes.
contact form on your website, make sure that you have reCAPTCHA. If you need help setting that up, we can definitely help you do that. But reCAPTCHA is the solution to help lessen the amount of spam that you get. So there are ways to help
Alright, so we can help.
help the spam issue.
Yeah. And if you feel up to it, put a link in the this video later. Go watch the full Monty Python spam skit because it's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Really gets you in that spammy mood.
Mhm.
Maybe go pick up a can of spam today. You know, there's different cans. There's different types. There's spicy now. There's turkey. Did you know that? There's
I
not
think
just
I
ham,
did.
pork. There's a vegetarian one. I don't even know what's in that. There's a new one that they have out that's sourced from plants. Yikes! Right? We should
Yeah, I'm
test
not for all the variations. I like things in its original form for the most part. I'm not, recreating it from some weird plant or something like that is kind of weird to me.
Yeah, same. I don't
The
mess with
Impossible Burger. It's
it.
impossible to know what's inside of it. Good luck.
Oh, good one. She's good. You know, when we went to, what was that? The hot dog place? And then they gave us these Impossible Burgers, and I just went to the bathroom and spit it out into the thing, the garbage.
Well, it was an accident. Like they didn't. I
Oh,
was like, this isn't. I didn't mean to order it because it was when they were first coming out. And he was like asking. He's like, "Why don't you just try it? Why don't you just try it?" And I'm like, "No." And I think I tried it by accident, and I didn't like the taste of it. And I was just like, I don't like not knowing what's in my burger, like these ingredients. I'm not for that.
yeah, me
This is
neither.
not an experiment. I am not your guinea pig. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mess with that stuff. Well, I'm not a big meat eater per se. I will eat meat. I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but I also don't go the path of I like vegetables and fruit in their normal form, not whatever this is. It's like Soylent Green. Soylent Green is people. You know, every time I quote a movie, I do a British accent for some reason. Like all movies and shows are British. I just realized that. I don't think that movie is. Have you ever seen it, Soylent Green? I haven't seen it, but I know the plot is like maybe dystopian, and at the end, maybe I'm just making up the movie now, but I know the plot is that this food that they've been giving the public has turned out to be actual people. And they say Soylent Green is people, but the people didn't know it was people. There's also a video game called Abe's Odyssey where the enslaved aliens are being used as food. Anything, any things that are Impossible Burger, plant based, always remind me of those two, Soylent Green and Abe's Odyssey, or Munch's Odyssey, what it's called. We'll end the show.
I'm like, where is this going?
This episode is spam. We're just gonna spam this into the ARPANET. We're gonna follow.
We're giving you examples of what spam is.
Yeah.
Tony?
Spam. What do we do then? And just ended the live stream?
No.
Well, anyways, it's been real. Thanks for joining us. Happy Friday. We enjoy coming live on these mornings. It really gives us some for the day. And we'll be back Saturday, tomorrow, for a
weekend special.
Yeah. And we'll pick a nice new topic. If you have topics that you want to hear about, learn about, we'd like to learn too. So even if we don't know what it's about, we know a little bit about it, we will research it and give you some tips and tricks on whatever that topic is. So I'm going to play us out with a really weird.
All right, everyone. Have a Friday. And I hope everyone has enjoys the weather this weekend and have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. So we should go to the pool. Right?
Yeah.